The selection strategy for Australia's upcoming Rugby League Ashes Tour is sparking a major conversation about national team loyalty in the modern era. Newly appointed Kangaroos coach Kevin Walters has made a bold and somewhat controversial declaration. He will not pressure players to commit to next year's World Cup defense as a condition for selection in this year's historic tour of England. This approach prioritizes immediate success over long-term planning, a tactic that is sure to divide fans and pundits alike. But here's where it gets controversial. By not securing players for the future, is Walters potentially jeopardizing the nation's hold on the Paul Barrier Trophy in 2025? Walters recently addressed UK media via an online conference to build excitement for the first Ashes series against England in over 2 decades. The tour kicks off with a sold-out match at London's iconic Wembley Stadium on October 25th, followed by additional packed tests in Liverpool and Leeds. The demand highlights the immense anticipation for the return of this legendary rivalry. In a significant development, superstar Latrell Mitchell of South Sydney has expressed strong interest in making the trip. Walters revealed that Mitchell, despite a season hampered by injuries, proactively sought a meeting. "I did speak to him earlier this week, and I'm going to catch up with him next week in Sydney," Walters shared. "From what I can gather, he was very keen to catch up and have a coffee, so that's always a good sign." This eagerness is a major boost for Australian hopes. However, the landscape of international rugby league is increasingly complex with player eligibility. Brisbane's powerhouse forward Payne Haas has already chosen to represent Samoa in the upcoming Pacific Championships. Reports suggest other players with dual heritage are contemplating a switch for the 2025 World Cup. Walters, however, insists this will have zero impact on his choices for the 22-man Ashes squad. This stance raises a critical question. Should a player's long-term international intentions influence their selection for a major series today? "I'm a bit selfish. I'm looking to this year's series," Walters admitted candidly. "I want players who are fully invested now. I believe once they get the experience of playing in the green and gold in England, surrounded by that incredible history, it's a wonderful and transformative experience for them." My feeling is that a genuine passion for the Kangaroos will naturally emerge from that. What happens at the World Cup next year is a totally different scenario. My focus is purely on this 3-test series and making sure we select players who desperately want to wear the green and gold, and who will wear it with immense pride. The coach also addressed the situations of Gold Coast's Tino Fa'asuamale'i and the Dolphins' Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow, who are also eligible to play for Samoa. "We've had a chat, and there's no pressure from me," Walters stated, demonstrating a hands-off approach. "I get it. The team will be selected after the NRL Grand Final. Obviously, the Titans won't be playing finals, but maybe the Dolphins can sneak in. When their seasons are officially finished, I'll connect with them, and we'll get a decision. We would absolutely love them to be part of the Kangaroos. But I totally respect their choice if they decide to play for Samoa or another nation they feel a connection to. And this is the part most people miss. That doesn't really bother me too much, because we've got such incredible depth here in Australia. We will take 22 players over there, who are utterly desperate to wear the green and gold." In an interesting twist, Walters mentioned that Canberra's rising 5'8" Ethan Strange, who's also eligible to represent England, is in contention for a utility role on the squad, but only if he maintains his current excellent form throughout the NRL final series. On the coaching front, Walters, who previously led the Broncos to the 2023 Grand Final, hopes to finalize his support staff soon. He confirmed that Australian coaches currently working in the English Super League are under consideration, including Brad Arthur, Leeds, Willie Peters, Hull KR, and John Cartwright, Hull FC. Walters has already consulted Cartwright for insights on English players. "I worked with John at the Broncos. Willie Peters at Hull KR is having a great season. And Brad Arthur, I'm well aware of Brad's talents," Walters said. "I'll be reaching out to all 3 of those guys, regardless of whether they're officially on the team, just for their deep knowledge of the English players and their understanding of how the game is played over there." That intel will be invaluable to us. Adding to the preparation, the Kangaroos plan to hold at least one full-scale opposed training session with the French national team in the lead-up to the Wembley test. Walters explained the practical need. We need 13 on 13 at training, and we've only got 22 players, so we need some extra numbers. He also assured that despite his recent appointment as Mal Meninga's replacement, off-field planning for the tour is already well advanced. The return of the Rugby League Ashes this autumn is a monumental event in sport. Your only chance to witness the eagerly anticipated first test is at Wembley on Saturday, October 25th. This is a genuine piece of history in the making. Be aware that the second test at the new Everton Stadium on November 1st and the third test at Headingley on November 8th are already completely sold out, underscoring the massive demand to see these two giants of the game clash once more. Do you agree with Walters for the now selection policy? Or does it risk hurting the team in the long run? Share your thoughts in the comments.